Well, anyway, Tony Romo, again, someone that I think is so fun to listen to. Right, Jim? I think he's great in the booth. Gets criticism. Other people love him. He talked.
What do you think? What do you think we're going to see in the second half? It was Jim Nantz that made it extra awkward because clearly he didn't even want to discuss Dolly Parton. But as of today, again, this all went down on Thanksgiving. But as of today, the backlash that Tony Romo is getting has like even gotten worse. Like he's some sort of creepy guy, and even we felt a little bit of it yesterday. All we did was say how good she looked yesterday, and people hit us up. I'll read one of them.
Yeah.
ASU English says, sorry to say, but again on your show, super sexist, ageist remarks about Dolly Parton, who performed. The idea she's there for you to evaluate her looks is ultra unprofessional.
She wore the Dallas Cowboy cheerleader
She's
outfit,
there as
you moron.
Talent, musician, not for you to make judgment. And
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
what are you talking about? We complimented her, right?
Yeah, you guys were nice about
Yeah.
it. I was
Talking about that's a reach.
I mentioned her doctor's business card.
And you know what?
You guys were saying, oh, awesome.
Danny, I want to get her doctor's business card for my wife one day.
My wifey said she looks great, but obviously she's had dozens of surgeries. She's like, but I respect her, and that's always kind of been her calling card.
That doesn't even come with a stigma anymore. Everybody gets work done nowadays, it seems like. So what's the big deal there? And then the guy goes on to say, well, that's the problem. No compliments are needed. No, nothing. She is every bit of professional as you are. You think that because you say she's still hot or beautiful that it's okay?
Yes.
It's not.
Yeah. I believe it is.
She's there to do her job, not to earn your voyeur praise.
Dolly,
none of our
who is this moron?
This guy on social media. That's just some of it.
No, what a freaking
But
moron.
that's the whole sentiment of, hey, Tony Romo, stop being a creep and just acknowledge her. It's like,
I'm here to defend Tony Romo.
Rich, none of our great-grandmothers dress like this, so of course we're going to be talking about it.
Let me tell you.
Bam.
Danny G, Dolly Parton is 77. You don't strut out there in a Dallas Cowboys cheerleader outfit and expect no comments. In fact, most of the comments are, wow, Dolly Parton looks fantastic. Why are we in some denial? Why do we play dumb?
Yeah, nobody said
I hate
anything.
when people play dumb.
Nobody said anything like too risque or creepy.
Bro.
Just complimenting how good she looked and how shocking it was, right? Like, it would be disingenuous if Tony Romo didn't make some sort of comment because that's what everybody was thinking. He was being very real in that moment. And what made it, again, extra awkward was Nantz. Yeah, it was him trying to be like, whoa.
I'm just saying, I hate when people play dumb. And I was at a room full of like 10 adults and a bunch of kids. We're all watching on Thanksgiving. I know we're backtracking, but today's theme has been media and fans, odd overreactions. That's sort of the narrative of today's show.
That clip of Tony Romo has gone extremely viral since.
But I think everything from Westbrook to Kelsey to now Romo, the narrative of today's show is fans and media overreacting. And I think by saying Dolly Parton looked fantastic for her age is a statement that is full of truth only. She's 77, and we complimented her. She sounded great. She was the big surprise on Thanksgiving for me, at least.
By the way, her album, because of this, it only added to the sales. It's her highest debuting album ever in her career.
And it's Dolly Parton. So
Yeah.
props to Dolly Parton. I'm a fan. And if you want to listen to Tony Romo one last time, people are making it seem like he said something like mildly creepy, and I don't see it or hear it at all. I think Jim Nantz wanting to move on is what made it a little weird. But
Agreed.
Tony Romo,
if anything, it just showed that he was uncomfortable.
I want to take everyone back to Thanksgiving just for a second. I know it's a couple days ago now, but when you were watching the Cowboys-Commanders game, didn't everyone at your Thanksgiving stop and say the same thing? Like, oh, my God. Everyone's like, Dolly Parton, she's fantastic, and she looks great. Did not everyone say that?
How could you not notice that or make some sort of comment about, wow? Or just, without being rude. No one was rude.
Everyone from my wife to my friends' wives to family members, everyone at my Thanksgiving table turned, looked, and all were in awe of the talent and how great Dolly Parton looked. The end. If you're playing dumb,
I actually responded to some of the tweets. I said, okay, you guys are just being silly now. I wrote, I'm not saying my compliment mattered at all. It's just in response to you saying or implying that we insulted her in some way. by acknowledging how she looked. That's just everybody being soft and overly sensitive. Clear and cut.
That's like saying John Stamos.
Have
Man,
mercy.
have mercy. That hair. I hope I look like Stamos in my 50s. Is that an insult?
He's not here to be judged by you.
He doesn't care about your hair compliments, your compliments. Let's hear Romo one last time, and we'll move on to something even more ridiculous.
She's wearing the Cowboys cheerleading outfit.
Yeah.
You saw that coming, didn't you? You said,
had-
I think she's going to go with a little cheerleading outfit tonight. And I was like, wow, it's pretty good.
What do you think we're going to see?
I mean, she looks amazing, right?
You never know what's going to happen
wonderful.
here.
Who doesn't like Dolly Parton?
No, she's absolutely an American treasure. That's for sure.
And let's also keep in mind,
Maybe there was a producer in Jim Nance's ear, like, he's being creepy. Move on, move on.
perhaps.
Because he said a little cheerleading.
Pivot.
That part.
He's smiling like that. When you got a good smile like that, you think you could say things and get away with it.
Yeah, I like Romo.
If he was
I get his
creepier
back.
looking, you'd be like, what a creep. He just did it with such a happy smile on his face.
Can we also, again, my biggest
He
pet
didn't
peeve.
say anything bad.
My biggest pet peeve when people play dumb, right? That's like, I just said it. When people play dumb. When you were a kid, Dolly Parton, we talked about people leaning into the joke, how obviously Russell Westbrook doesn't. Westbrook, how dare you? Like, he doesn't lean into our whole childhood. Dolly Parton owned the fact that her name was synonymous with boobs. Let's be honest. When you were a kid growing up,
I don't know.
she was the
95.
She was leaning.
She was the go-to, and
I
she
never noticed.
She leaned into it. She owned it, and growing up, she was your go-to when your grandpappy, your dad, or someone would talk about a woman who was
I was a Morgana the Kissing Bandit kind of guy.
when someone would refer to someone that was well endowed up top.
I liked Elvira, to be honest.
Dolly Parton was the go-to. So let's stop playing dumb and
I was
move on.
more of a Samantha Fox kind of kid.
You were more of. What were you more of? I think what you were.
No,
more
but to pretend like we didn't notice those things, and we didn't notice that she still looked good at 77 is ridiculous. So we're here to say Tony Romo did nothing wrong. He was just caught up in the moment and excited the same way we were.